just realized my smile is crooked. Hey guys, this is Olya. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about my birth story. The day I delivered Niko. His name's up here somewhere. Not in the video, on my wall. Anywho, so it wasn't very interesting because, I don't know, I've watched so many videos on how dramatic everyone's birth story is, and mine was just like, it was a breeze for me. Anywho, okay, so before that, 2 weeks before I had him, I tried everything under the sun. I had the Parmesan eggplant, or eggplant Parmesan, whatever else Google says. There's a million things you can do. There's the walking, there's the parsley and garlic, there's obviously sex. We did that one. And then there was whatever else in there, but I did all of them. A lot. Nothing worked. Finally, I tried castor oil. Well, 3 days later, I went to labor. That was great. Okay, so he was due on July 24th, and I went to labor at midnight, July 24th. I'm so proud of my boy. He is on schedule, yo. Okay, so I was laying in bed, and I think I was sleeping, and I woke up because I was having these pains, and I was like, maybe I should stay up. I don't know. Because, you know, I've never had a baby. I don't know what this was going to be like or anything. So I just woke up and laid around the bed. I played some Sudoku. And by 2 o'clock, they got even more painful. And I started timing them. Well, the first one, I actually still have a screenshot of how my contractions were. I don't know, is that weird? Anywho, first one was 7 minutes. That's when I started timing them, 7 minutes apart. And then they went to 5 minutes, then 4 minutes, and then dropped to 1 minute. This was 45 minutes. I timed them, and they were between 4 and 1 minute apart. By the time I woke my husband up at 3:30, they were a minute apart. And they hurt so bad. It's like the worst period on the planet. It was so bad. Oh my gosh. Like, I would walk around, I'd walk to the bathroom, they'd hurt even more. I didn't know that walking would cause the contractions to be worse. Like, to the bathroom, not like a mile, but just walking to the bathroom. It was, oh my gosh, it hurt so bad. Okay. And I woke my husband up and I said, baby, I think it's time to go to the hospital. I don't know if these are real. I don't want to have the baby in the house without a doctor. We need to go, like, now. So we got to the hospital at 4:04 into the emergency room. And I was in the room by 4:25, I think, because they came and asked me what time I came in. They were going to just check me out and see if they were going to keep me or not. And I was going to get the induction that night at midnight. Well, the 25th at midnight. So the doctor, she wasn't my doctor, it was the on-call doctor. They asked her, and she said, well, let's go ahead and keep her. But, yay, we might have a baby today. And I was like, I want the epidural right now. When they checked me at 6 o'clock, no, 4 o'clock, I was 2 centimeters. But I was at 1 centimeter for 3 weeks. At 4 o'clock, I was at 2 centimeters. At 6 o'clock, I was at 3 centimeters. At 7:30, I was about 3.5 centimeters. And that's when they said, well, the doctor decided to keep you. So I was like, okay. When can I get the epidural? Because these are painful. I'm at almost 4 centimeters and no epidural. So they said, well, yeah, you can get it now. You're staying, so go ahead. So I got my epidural. That was so easy. Like, she numbs you up and it feels like a bee sting, but then when she shoves the actual thing in there, it's like 10 bees stinging you at once, but only when she first sticks it in there, because I guess the needle was huge or something. I don't know, I didn't see it. And my husband was holding my hand and I was, you know, hunched over like everybody else. And that was nothing. And first my right leg went numb, and I asked her if it was normal to have only one leg to go numb. She said, oh, let's flip you. So I had to be, they flipped me a few times to keep the epidural medicine equal on both sides of my body. After I got the epidural, it made me so relaxed. Holy cow. Like, I wanted to take it home with me. It felt so good, and I was just, like, my brain was wired, but physically I was very relaxed. By 8:30, I was 4 centimeters, and then I didn't progress any till noon. After I got my epidural, I got the Pitocin to, you know, speed it up. At noon, she broke my water. My actual doctor, my OB, came in. She broke my water, and then there were some complications after that. Niko had the umbilical cord wrapped around him. So when they broke the water, he fell on the uterus or something. He was blocking the umbilical cord, so he wasn't getting oxygen every time I got a contraction. So they came in and pumped me back up with water, or whatever it was they pumped me back up with. I think it was water or saline, I don't know. But they shoved more water up in me so he could float and get some oxygen. I was at 5 centimeters at that point. And by 3 o'clock, I jumped to 8 centimeters. So in 3 hours, I went up 3 centimeters. And by 5:30, the nurse came in to check me. And she said, well, guess what? Well, where do you think you are right now? I said, well, I hope you can feel his head and he's ready to come out. And she said, she checked me. She's like, oh, wow, you won't believe this. I can feel his head and he's really coming out fast. So then she got the stirrups out, got all the baby stuff out, got it all ready. And she said, let's practice. So, you know, I got all up situated and stuff. She looked at me and she says, I can see his hair. He is like crowning. He is right there. Would you like to see? I was like, no, but okay, I'll do it. Because, you know, there's a mirror. The light up there has a mirror or something. So she was like, look up there. It's like, okay. I saw his head. Oh my gosh, it was so cute. Okay, it was all nasty, but still. Here's my baby's head. She said, let's practice. And then, like, 2 minutes later, she said, wait, don't breathe, don't sneeze, don't cough, don't anything, or I will have to deliver this baby. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. I just sat there, like, terrified that the baby was gonna fall out on the floor. And my doctor, of course, was late. She was about 15 minutes late. He was almost, like, his head was almost out by the time she got there. You know, she got all cleaned up, got situated. She sat down. She was like, okay, now you can push. I pushed. I didn't know you were supposed to push during the contractions, so I just pushed. And his head came out. And the second contractions, the rest of him came out. So it only took 2 contractions to push. So maybe 4 minutes total. I don't know. It was super easy. And I had 1 tear. And then when they laid him on me, he felt really hot. And they said that the umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck. It was too long. So they had to, you know, unravel it. And he was running 101 fever. And she said that was normal because, well, not normal, but some babies do come out having a fever because of all the stress at the last 30 minutes of labor. But by the time he got his bath, he was back to normal. His fever was gone. He was perfect. And I got really mad at my husband because he would not let me have my baby after they took him off to, you know, do his vitals and stuff. And my doctor was sewing me up, and I was so mad at him. And I was just glaring at him. I was like, this is my baby. I want my baby. And he just held him. He's like, you'll have him after you get done being stitched up. Oh, I was furious because I wanted my baby right now. I worked hard for that baby. And finally I got him, and he was so perfect. He was 7 pounds, 10 ounces, and the hospital said he was 21 1/4 inches long. But when I went to his first checkup, he was 20 inches long, and I know he didn't shrink. And I was right there watching them when they were measuring him the second time. So I think he was more accurate the second time. I'm not sure. But he was so perfect. He was smiling. Even his cry was adorable. He was just, and his little bottom lip was quivering when he cried, and he acted like he was cold and shivering, and I guess that he was just learning his reflexes or something. He was just adorable. He was just amazing. And when I first saw him, I said, "Look, baby, we have our own little human." I was so excited. It took so long to conceive him. I was so excited. I was gonna try to have him in the hospital room with me after I had him, but I needed sleep. I had a million visitors that night, and I was just exhausted, and I did not feel like having anybody there. And my husband kept getting on my nerves. He kept complaining about the nurses when he wasn't the one being checked out, but he was getting on my nerves. I was mad at him, and then he was like, "Well, maybe I should just sleep at home." I said, "Go for it." And I gave him permission, but I was so mad because he actually did it. I did have the baby in my room every 4 hours to feed him, but he wasn't really latching on too well, so I started giving him formula. But all the new moms out there, put your baby in the nursery the first 2 nights. You need sleep. The more sleep you get, the faster everything down here will heal. I promise. And I did pump from day 1. And now I have an oversupply, and I have 3 freezers full of milk. And I'm a work from home mom, so I don't really need that milk. But I'm glad to have it just in case I dry up for some reason out of nowhere. That was how Niko came into this world. It was super simple and chill, and there was no stress until after he was here, and I'm glad. I wouldn't change anything about my delivery. It was perfect. It went by so smoothly. I told my doctor right afterwards I could have 99 more babies. It was so easy. The only thing that was bad was the pregnancy, and I'm dreading my next pregnancy. Anywho, thank you guys for watching. Give me a like or a thumbs up and subscribe if you like this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Street lights lit this town like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out.